Morning YouTube and good morning Nick. I've got to have something to say about your video response here. So let's just go over it bit by bit in terms of your own video, okay? Let's just give me a little time and I'll play what you have to say and then make my response to it in turn.
Morning YouTube. This is a video reply to a comment from Ella on yesterday's video where I got in the comments, "That's the point, I don't think the pie will grow." Remember we were talking about the American budget and pie charts and all that sort of stuff. Ella says precisely, "No, it will not grow because the entire pie is unsustainable. So if the pie needs to get smaller, then everyone should get a fair share of that pie in the future." So we understand the sentiment.
What do you mean about sentiment?
This is my cup of tea that followed my thinking. I had an entire thinking cup of tea to think about how to answer that comment.
Well, it's good that you thought about it at least. I mean, that's a good thing, Nick. I think that's a really good thing.
In this video, and I've come up with this way, which is perhaps the shortest way and the cruelest way, but I think it's the rightest way of doing it. All this fairness stuff, when I was doing my management type things, I was renowned for being able to keep the people happy, the boys and girls happy, because I'm an empathetic type chap, and
well, so am I, you know. I might just add that too, okay?
I know what people would think was fair. Each individual person I know would know what they would be thinking was the fair thing. So if I could be given the task of getting something done and I could get it done in a way that everybody would think it was fair, then the job would get done and everyone would be happy. But the problem then comes, for example, if you've got 10 people that you know that 8 will find this method fair and 2 will not, then the management person has to decide whether it's best to go with that, knowing that the 2 are not going to be happy, and you've got to work out how much unhappiness, what sort of people these are, how much disruption that they can cause with their unhappiness from their 2 side against.
So you're using the majority argument here? I mean, didn't you just say in previous videos that basically, you know, the majority rule is just mob rule? Okay, I'm just questioning your motivations.
The 8 that are going to be happy. And this, I believe, is what lower management's job is. That's what a lower management's job is. But I found that it was not possible to go through often with my knowledge of what people thought was going to be fair. Basically, the job had to be done, so it came to, we're going to do it this way, like it or not.
Okay, so, okay, nice and fine, Nick, nice and fine. Now, let's say some of these dissenters in your group, the ones that you basically managed to be sidelined, were against something that completely went against their grain, you know. Let's say your company, the one that you're managing, the task that you're trying to accomplish was to maximize profits at any cost, you know, sort of like the cotton mills and the cotton farms in the South. And most of the people that were working for you depended on that income. Depended on their very livelihood, depended on what you had to say, because you were basically the manager. And so basically those 8 people are going to agree with you because their livelihood essentially depends entirely on what you have to say. So, in other words, slavery could be, in your mind, defended because something had to get done. A project had to get done. No matter what the project is, what purpose it served, whether the profits were unfair or not, that doesn't matter. It's just the project alone seems to be of fundamental interest to you.
Going up the management scale further, more fairness goes further out of more windows. And I believe that this is one of these unfortunate facts of life. That
no, it's not unfortunate facts of life. It is unfortunate because you think it is unfortunate.
When you have more and more complicated things to get done, you're in a much more complicated management position. Fairness cannot come into it. Only the efficiency of getting the job done can come into it.
Okay, so let's say you have a job of bombing a country, then of course, yes, the efficiency will of course be paramount, Nick. It will be paramount. So if that's the kind of job you want to get done, no matter what that job is, then of course you've got to bring people on board, and you've got to, foster the majority to get behind it. Kind of contradictory, even in your own terms, I might add.
If you bother yourself with what people are going to think of the fairness of some position or way of getting things done, you are just going to run into huge inefficiencies. Basically, the only way is to work out the most efficient way of getting the job done and say to the people to get it done, get it done.
This whole efficiency argument, and I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious here, Nick, but that's kind of what Hitler said as well. Let's just be efficient and get it done. You see, I'm not throwing this just out there. I just want you to consider that. If you want to get the job done, then be very efficient about it. Okay? You're coming very dangerously close to, I don't know to what, but you're coming dangerously close and overestimating the importance of efficiency and to what ends that efficiency should actually be used.
And I'm very sorry about this. I'm sure people, left-wing politicians, have got good, empathetic ideas of fairness and how people think and what they think about fairness and how nice it is to do a job when you think that the job that you're doing is being done in a fair way. But they soon, when they're elected to power and have desks with responsibilities coming on them, what happens is the problems come on the desk and the fairness goes out of the window.
No, I mean, I can't argue with that, okay? I'll hand you that all the way because basically left-wing politicians are for the most part, cowards. That's what they've been, at least in the West. And, I'm not trying to defend communism or anything like that, and as much as you want to get that out there, that's just silly. So
this, I believe, is one fact of life. Like it or not.
Well, tell you what, Nick, like it or not, people want fairness. And if people like you don't want fairness or don't believe in it, there are other kinds of people who want fairness. I mean, it's as simple as that.
And that's the end of this video. Bye.
Oh, well, your argument is not very strong and it's incoherent for the most part. Basically what you're saying is might makes right. That's basically the crux of your argument. It's just silly.